placed to persuade pensioners that they've got nothing to fear are other pensioners. And that's how Pensioners for Independence started. Now, the image of pensioners has changed. When I was young, everybody was sorry for them. They'd lived through 2 world wars. A lot of them had waited for years for a house with a bathroom, and a lot of them were dependent on handouts from their children, which a lot of them still are. But now the image of boomers is a wee bit different. Some people see our generation as a privileged lot, that we had things or access to things that people didn't have before and maybe don't have after. A good choice of jobs when they left school, student grants, final salary pensions and so on. But one thing about the boomers, we are not and never have been a conservative generation. We wore the long hair and wore the short skirts that shocked our parents. And more to the point, we went on march after march after march for different things. Some people, maybe a wee bit older than me, they'd be against the Vietnam War, against the poll tax, in support of the miners, against the democratic deficit and for devolution, and again and again and again against weapons of mass destruction. So, even now, if you look around at any protest march, you'll see a lot of grey heads, despite the best efforts of the chemical industry. So we could be pushing at an open door for the pensioners. But as for the younger people, well, we've got long memories. We can remember what actually happened before they faked the news. We remember a Secretary of State for Scotland telling us that an independent Scotland would be poorer than Bangladesh. And we now know that he was saying this in the knowledge that his government had repressed their own Macron report, which said we would be, and this is the phrase they used, embarrassingly rich. Embarrassing to whom? Where were riches ever embarrassing? Not to the people that had them anyway, that's for sure. So they faked the news then, they're faking it still. The problem is, of course, a lot of pensioners are not as into social media, so they get their news from the BBC and mainstream media. And how many of them, for instance, know that the UK state pension is the lowest in the developed world? So we have to reach them by other means. We have to do what we've always done: stalls, knocking on doors, marching in marches. We pensioners for independence, well, we pensioners have lived through 5 referendums. And we know that whenever this next independence referendum, or if there's no referendum, campaign comes, we'll be there still. We're the boomers. We march. And we'll be marching again in the future, like we did in the past, like we did 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, or 50 years ago. We were there then, and we're marching still. The campaign goes on, the same people are still there.